Hey everyone, good morning, guten Tag, guten Morgen, ni hao, bonjour to the online world, wherever people are. So a very important aspect I just want to discuss because I was just executing one of the projects. So currently, I'm representing Turkey. I'm representing, I think, my current portfolio work as far as intellectual property rights is concerned. It is like I have around about 25 countries with me right now. So for some, I'm handling their patenting portfolio. For some, it's trademarking. Some is contracts, smart contracts, blockchain, blah blah blah. Having said that, first of all, the three topics I wish to discuss right now is the very important aspect is um, what government of India should do before anyone can file a patent application. This is what I feel. Now, how to overcome that government needs to see, because I feel this is a pain point right now, because most of the folks, whether they understand invention or not, or whether they understand what an idea is, what a business model is in terms of intellectual property rights, I think it's being misused. So the pain point right now is to understand like whom to allow to file applications. Now the patenting law says that you can do it on your own. You can go through the registered patent attorney, um, and that's one of the toughest exam in India. We all know that. So the pain point right now is who should be held accountable. That is point number one. And point number two is, I think AI has to be deployed. The DAO has to be deployed at the first stage, at the screening stage itself, because then the instrument of flag can come into play. What I mean by instrument of flag is, once a provisional patent is filed, or once any kind of application is filed, let's even let's keep the data set very simple. Because to file a patent in India, you need to have this documentation, whereby you need to have the digital signature and all, blah 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 blah. What is important is to have the AI in place, identify the actors, the companies, see their portfolio, see the power attorney, see the the English language which has been utilized to file the application. What is the intent of the application? Just writing object of the invention doesn't suffice the purpose. I can pinpoint 1,000 applications right away which should be rejected. So the pain point is not that. The pain point here is to deploy technology for the right use. So this is a request to Government of India to take into account and blocking the stuff which needs to be blocked in the block with the right actors. That is very important. I see the point number two I wish to discuss is it's an open invitation for patent examiners, I guess. There are loads and loads of Indian patent agents who are conversant with the patenting law, who understand at least little bit, because right now, after almost 18 years of experience in intellectual property rights, it's painful when the person who is actually examining the patent application, they don't even understand the basics of law. See, if we have to teach the controller or the assistant blah 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 in India, then I think the job is not sufficing the purpose. Because every time I'm starting to write the FER reply, and I'm like, how on earth this kind of argument can even be given by a person who is sitting on the other side and saying that I'm going to analyze the patent application. It's a basic ground rule. You file a provisional, you can file multiple provisionals, and you file a complete. How you need to file Form 13 amendment, I fail to understand. So rather than the pain point, I'm like, what was going in the head even before you were examining the application, whosoever the person was. Now there's something, if you look into the hierarchy of the Indian Patent Office, you will see the patenting landscape, the people who are working. That is another aspect. The third aspect, which is very important, is we are talking about transparency. And obviously, if you look into the patenting landscape, I'm just talking about the patent law right now. The patent law came to exist in 1970, and the major amendment happened in 2005. And before that, we had the black box, blah blah blah. The pharma sector was totally getting that understanding of what's happening in India, because We say that, you know, we have compulsory licensing, we want to make things affordable, blah 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 blah. Then we invoke section 3 saying that the efficacy has to be there, the scientific evidence has to be there, and attorneys globally have been asking me, Pretty, what can we do to overcome it? The easiest answer is, once you're filing the application, give a lot of data sets as an exhibit. So you don't have to pay for the exhibit. No law says that you have to pay for the exhibit. So that's a good thing. So then you can argue in the court of law also. And probably, you know, what I believe is, there have been many cases where there's leakage of data from the Indian Patent Office. How the government can be held accountable? Who are the people who are looking at the documentation at the back end? So that documentation is just a normal person who is doing the, you know, who has very basic qualification. He doesn't understand what the technology is all about. If that person is leaking that data set to a third party, then who all can be accountable, and what damage it is causing to the society as a whole? I think that's a very valid question, and I can echo with the inventor of what happened a few years back. So yeah, these are pain points I wish to discuss, and we need to deploy AI with the Indian Patent Office for sure. You can utilize the algorithm I have developed, you can deploy it. We can go for the compulsory licensing, we can discuss the royalty and stuff and make it happen. Thank you for watching out the video. Have a great day ahead.